Welcome, believers, and welcome to another edition of Everything Weird, Nothing Normal, the channel where we talk about all the weirdly wonderful stuff that goes on in the world, and there is a lot. Now, today, I want to talk about a character called Phil Schneider. Now, if you are into alien abductions, cattle mutilations, New World Order, government conspiracies, you really want to listen to the Phil Schneider story. We are going to talk about Phil Schneider. Like I said, a government geologist and an engineer with over 17 years of experience working on black projects. He undoubtedly is one of the most important whistleblowers in modern history, especially for the alien subject. Okay, if Carlsberg made whistleblowers, he would probably be the best whistleblower in the world. So, what do you think then? Phil Schneider. In September 1995, Mr. Schneider gave a presentation at the Preparedness Expo in which he exposed the New World Order agenda and how it connects with extraterrestrials. During this speech, he presented physical evidence of alien metals and artifacts along with additional photographs to validate his claim. Sadly, less than 6 months after giving this presentation, he was found dead in his apartment with a piano wire wrapped around his neck in what most would call a military-style execution. He was found slumped near a wheelchair with his head on the seat. Regardless of all that, regardless of the piano wire, the authorities somehow ruled his death as suicide. Phil, knowing he was a target and that what he was doing was messing with hugely powerful people and aliens, preemptively told everyone that if he was to die mysteriously or the authorities said he committed suicide, he was murdered. He said, "I will never commit suicide," to his friends. Now, I'm going to place a photo behind him. I'm going to place a photo behind me. Okay, that is Phil Schneider. He is holding a photograph of the picture behind him, apparently. Now, Mr. Schneider worked extensively on building deep underground military bases. Now, they're better known as DUMBs. He claimed that the information about aliens is kept well hidden from the public and that the US military had known about the presence of aliens for decades. Well, we can believe that, can't we? He also asserted that more than $500 billion was being allocated every year to black projects dealing with alien matters. He further asserted that 28% of US gross national product was being spent on building underground bases. This black project, as he referred to, it sidesteps Congress completely. There's little doubt that these projects are still continuing today. So sidestepping Congress means that nobody knows where the money comes from. In 1995, there were 131 active deep underground military bases in the US and approximately 1,477 underground bases in the world. So it's a big thing. It's a massive thing. Each base costs an average of $17 to $19 billion. In 1995, there were 131 active deep underground military bases, according to Phil Schneider. 1,477 underground bases in the world. Each base costs an average of $17 to $19 billion. Now, the method of construction that included vitrifying and melting rock using lasers that reduced the rock to powder, and then they smoothed out the tunnels using sophisticated boring machines that Phil Schneider has never seen before. Mr. Schneider further claimed that these bases are massive and house thousands upon thousands of people. Trains connect all the dumb bases within the United States in an enormous transport system capable of speeds up to Mach 2. He claims that there is a whole other world down there that is filled with both human and alien life forms. So it sounds like the humans and the aliens are getting together. Well, the government and the aliens are getting together. That's never good for us. Now, talking about Area 51. Area 51 is actually a complex composed of 9 deep underground bases, and there are over 18,000 workers whose lives are highly regulated and entirely veiled in secrecy. The United States government signed an agreement in 1954 with extraterrestrials granting them permission to experiment on humans and cattle in exchange for technology. This agreement, known as the Greada Treaty, is a well-known documented event. Now, a well-known documented event. I don't know if anyone knows about this treaty, but it started at the Holloman Air Force Base in 1957. Apparently, a spaceship landed, and the government and the aliens got together and had a chat. Now, the treaty was signed there and then. Now, the original terms of the agreement stated that only a small amount of humans could be abducted. They had to be returned where they were found, and their memory of the event had to be wiped clean. The aliens were also supposed to supply a list of the humans they were talking to Majestic 12. Now, Majestic 12. I don't know if you've heard about Majestic 12, but they are a secret, shady government organisation that control all UFO aspects. So crashed UFOs, reverse engineering, all that sort of stuff, abductions, all goes through Majestic 12. They're a very secret organisation, but you can find out about them online. But I will do another video about them next week. So, however, it became clear after a few years that the aliens were taking far more humans than they originally agreed to. Mr. Schneider alleges that there are 11 distinct alien races on Earth, and only 2 of these species are benevolent. So what about the other 9? The New World Order and the alien agenda are one and the same, he reckons. So the New World Order that we're hearing so much about and the alien agenda are one and the same. Mr. Schneider describes the alien agenda as the complete takeover of this planet, killing off a large percentage of the world's population by 2029. Well, look, it's 2024 now. We've only got 5 years, gang. Only 5 years. So I would recommend you open that bottle of JD, eh? So, obviously, an alien takeover would mean that a one-world government will be put into place and would, in all probability, be the end of freedom as we know it. Scary stuff, the New World Order. I don't know if you follow the stuff that I follow, but there is a massive, massive stuff out there about this New World Order. Now, 16 days before we gave the presentation, Mr. Schneider was shot in the shoulder by an FBI agent who wanted to kill him. Mr. Schneider shot and killed the agent in self-defence. In addition, he reported the incident to the FBI, who dismissed him and the entire incident as if to say, yeah, sure. He claims that 11 previous attempts were made on his life since he started. He also claims that the DIA agents tried to kidnap his daughter but were unsuccessful due to the heroic actions of his ex-wife. I don't know what exactly, did she kick them in the gentleman area? We don't know, do we? Now, it's all started, and the reason they want to kill him is he describes an incident at Dulce, New Mexico in 1979, where, as a geological engineer, he was employed to help build an underground base for the US government. But he says they encountered hostile aliens, which he calls large greys, and that he shot and killed 2 of them with his pistol. After which he says, when reloading his weapon, another alien shot a radioactive blast at him, injuring him severely. He says that it took many months to recover from the blast and that he has had physical repercussions from it ever since, such as losing the index and middle finger and part of his thumb on his left hand. He also said that this blast was the cause of the cancer he's got. He also says that 66 doubtful soldiers from both the US and NATO died that day in the underground base fighting the aliens, and only 3 survived, including himself. As for the other 2 survivors, he claims that they are somewhere in the United States and under close guard. Now, you can watch the full video of Schneider on YouTube. Please check it out. He then says one of them is living in Canada. He also says that one supposedly cannot speak and one doesn't want to speak. I reckon that none of them can speak. So that's the Phil Schneider story. The way things are progressing with ever-increasing government restrictions and lies. I mean, let's face it, free speech being strangled, false speech being implemented, you must comply. The government lying, government interfering with your everyday freedom, you must agree. I hate to say it, and it's a very scary thought, but I believe him. Well, there you go, everybody. That is the Phil Schneider story. What do you think? Do you think it's true? Do you think he's a loon? Do you think he's lying? Please drop me a comment and let me know. This is Everything Weird, Nothing Normal. Please like, subscribe and ding that bell so you get to hear my new videos. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.